Wait, me watch must be fast, because it's time to duel. Again. Hello and welcome to another figure review for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Revo 20 years, Dark Side of the Dimension, Union Creative, Vulcanlog, all these things. Blue Eyes White Dragon figure. Of course, as usual, I'm gonna have a look at the box. A little bit of a... I mean, those Union Creative boxes are, quite frankly, way too big for the stuff that's in there. I mean, it's not like... You think there would be like energy effects that have the size of the entire box in the back, but there's not. So I don't know. Too much plastic. Anyway, let's get to the figure already. No, I'm not trying to make a dragon cry. I'm just, well, I mean, all right. I mean, let's just have a look at this thing. First of all, the size. That's the problem. That's one of the problems. This guy. I mean, I get it. I knew this wasn't going to be like a big beast that kind of destroys everything, but this is just kind of disappointing. So anyway, I'm gonna have a look at from the legs to the head, which is like the overall size I would look at. So that's 14 centimeters, which is 5.6 inches pretty much. And with the tail, I mean, he goes up to 20 centimeters, a little over 20 centimeters, which would be what, 8 inches? I think that's 8 inches. Yeah. So, and then you know, can look at the wingspan. That's also pretty much, that's over 20 centimeters, over 8 inches. I mean, you can spread them out a little bit more, but that's about it. Yeah, I mean, the overall look of the figure is pretty nice. I like the shiny white they use on him with the blue lines, even though I don't remember having him that many blue lines. But again, this is Dark Side of Dimensions. I have not seen the movie, so I will not criticize completely the design. I think he looks a little bit more like that. I think they did had a little bit of a visual overhaul with the dude. And over here we have a big logo, which looks great, right? If you put him in the flying pose and you have the big logo down there, that's a good idea. More people should do that. Just kidding. And he has a nice metallic claws. So overall, it looks good. You're gonna have a look at the teeth, all individually painted. Surprisingly proper job on the paint, because I'm just saying that because he's Vulcanlog. It's kind of why they dropped the ball a little bit. Also the joints. Articulation. His head. Like, first of all, his head can open the mouth and you cannot properly close the mouth. He's always like durr, 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 durr. Because it's like on a ball, it also goes side to side, which is cool, but like it's just kind of disconnecting. It doesn't go straight. This is on a hinge, I guess. Something, because it doesn't move side to side. Oh wait, it does. Never mind. So that's even worse. You can break his jaw. Okay, it's just two balls, like with all these Vulcanlogs. Not the best idea, quite frankly. Guys, just put a hinge over here and a ball up there, so you can hinge this and you can rotate this. You don't need a ball for this. Just no, don't do it. So yeah, the mouth doesn't close fully, never, ever. There's no way you can do that. Then of course we have, like I said, it's on a ball, so you can swivel it. Goes around a little bit. I mean, of course, gets blocked by everything. It has a little bit of wiggle motion, but it just disconnects with the jaw. Then we have another piece of articulation, another point of articulation in here. Again, just it's the same thing. It's always a double packed ball. So that's the articulation is good though. I mean, it works. It works, and it's fairly well hidden in this one. I mean, it's actually really well hidden. Let's give him some credit. So the next part of the articulation is down here, over there, where my thumb is right now. So that's the next part of articulation. The other pieces are not articulated, which I'm okay with, honestly. I mean, don't break the sculpt too much, and this one works. Again, it's the same as usual. Ball joints everywhere. So you get a little bit of wiggle motion. I don't know what's wrong with my lights. It kind of freaks out. So anyway, so again, it's actually connected there and there to a ball. So you get it. You can rotate it around all the way. and you can get the wiggle motion. It's really like a thing where you really have to play around with it. Of course, it gets blocked by the sculpt, but the joints are nicely hidden. Then we get the arms, same thing. The ball rotates around as much as the sculpt lets. It gets blocked by the wings a lot, and I'll get to the wings. But yeah, rotates around. Doesn't really go up because of this piece. Doesn't really. It goes forward nicely if you angle it right, and can kind of push it back also. So there you go. Then we have the elbow joint again. Balls. Balls of steel. No, actually plastic, but yeah. Rotates around at both sides. And then we have nothing in here. Nope. So the other thing is the tail is articulated. It's just kind of limited, there's not. So the other thing is the tail is also articulated at a couple of points. First one is up here. We have like a floating piece over there, just hanging out over the ball joint, and the ball just, you know, ratchet stuff. Goes around nicely. Backward not so much, but forward, okay. And then we have another point over here, same thing. And then I think there's one more small ball joint over there. And unfortunately none at the kind of spiky bit. Okay, so down here again, it's kind of wonky. It works though. I mean, it works. Again, rotates around. I just gotta get it in the right place, so you can rotate that all around. Then at the cut part, you can go and make it go back and forth, side to side, whatever. And then we have another point of articulation. I thought there was something. Yeah, you can kind of this kind of is pegged in. Yeah, it's just pegged in. I don't know why. I guess to move this around so it doesn't get in the way. And then we have the knee, goes forward like that, and just like rotates around, of course, like everything else. And another joint at the feet. At least that one. We don't get one at the hands, but we get one at the feet. So I appreciate that. Okay, torso. I kind of skipped the torso. I didn't know. Let's see. Where does it rotate? Over here. And of course at the head we looked at that, but yeah, it only rotates over here. Okay, but that's not that part. It's the lower part here, which has another mole in there, and just, you know, rotates around. It might be just this part. There might be some magic going down there, just like a big ball, I guess. But yeah, actually no, it works nicely. Then the tail falls off. Get fairly decent articulation out of that. So you can put him in some more battle poses. The wings! So the wings are really, they're kind of a pain. They don't have any room because they're kind of getting blocked by that. Cannot get him forward more, and it's just like, can't. I mean, it goes down, but it's really cumbersome. It's really stiff. It's a little weird. It works though, I guess. I gotta give him that. So it's a ball that kind of rotates around, and then, I mean, it does. Look, here's the peg, and you can. It's basically, you have to play around with that. You just kind of peg it out and just peg it in like that if you want it to lean, to go backwards. And if you want to have it go to the side, you kind of have to push it to the side. And then just put it back in. That's how it goes. Because it gets blocked by this part, just kind of soft plastic, you can kind of see it moving out of the way a little bit. It goes, but it's not clean. But like I said, it works. It's just wonky and weird, and I don't know, and bleh. I guess, you know, I started this review off pretty negative, but the more I play around with this dragon, the more I feel like, okay, this is not so bad. The big issue just is the size to me. That's like the one thing I knew. Like I said, I knew he wasn't gonna be towering over everything else, but this is kind of laughable. I'm sorry. Let's get to the accessories. He has none. That was the accessories. Just like, there's nothing. There's no energy effects. There's no different hats. There's just, of course, the regular base, which is much appreciated with like a character like this, so you can make him fly, and that's why you have the hole in here. So let's look at the size comparison. Quite frankly, overall, it doesn't look that bad as I first expected it to be. I gotta take a lot of things back here, I think. At the beginning, I was just like, oh my god, this is way too small. His alien head kind of looks weird. But now looking at it, it's not so bad. Obviously, he's way out of scale. He's way too small. But like I said, I wasn't really expecting anything like in the anime where it's just like, you know, he would be towering over Kaiba. He would be like 3 times the size. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I mean, final thoughts. First of all, there's a couple of things. This part is super wonky. This doesn't really stay in that much. And it is, in fact, a ball. I kind of disassembled it, took out the plastic. Another thing to be aware of, the wings, guys. I gotta tell you one thing. Don't try to move the wings like that. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's super stiff. The best thing is to just pull out the wings, the wing itself, which I can, of course, do right now, apparently, and then just move the joint and put it back on, because joint is super stiff. So I think you're just gonna break off your pegs if you're just gonna jam this in and try to move it around with that, because it's not cooperating at all. As you can tell, I'm moving it, but it's just bending and it's gonna break, trust me. When I first took this guy out of the packaging, I was just like so disappointed. But looking at him and moving him around, and overall now having him on stand in a pose of his wing spreads, I think it looks good. I think it looks great, actually. The whole package looks good. The articulation is done fairly nice. It could be better, but what are you gonna do? Shading's great, paint's okay. There's no real smudges, there's no real issues with this one, not like the other Vulcanlog. But yeah, I mean, I recommend it. After all, it won me over, maybe it can win you over. So anyway, dudes, thank you very much for watching as usual. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like and maybe subscribe to keep updated with more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever the Blue-Eyes Dragon wants. Goodbye.